So last night I started scrolling and I came across a post in my feed from a mentor that I used to have. And the advice was to keep your circle small, be careful who you hang out with. This notion of your vibe attracts your tribe, birds of a feather flock together. And for the first time, it really didn't sit well with me. I felt it in my gut. I felt it in my stomach. Like this, it feels off. And so I've been practicing just really sitting and stewing with things before reacting. So just really in inquiry on, okay, why is this like bothering me? Why is it triggering me? Why is it making me feel this way? And as I'm sitting there, I go back onto the phone and I come across a different post from someone else who's talking about spiritual bypassing. And I recognize that this was the reason why I had a trigger moment. It was because I think that advice is not the complete advice. It works when you are someone who is really trying to figure out who you are easily influenced, you don't know how to discern, make decisions that serve you. I think earlier in life, yes, those things might be important for you to be able to step away from people who aren't really good for you and your growth, and then finding mentors and friends and peers that are doing what you want to do. Yes, I think that is one way that we can have really exponential growth. For me personally, I took about, I don't know how long, but I took some time away from my friends. I used to actually go out to the nightclubs by myself. Of course, I would tell myself that I'm not going to drink because I usually go out with my girlfriends and we went out every weekend. And then I realized, okay, I'm starting to become dependent on my friends, and my identity was really caught up in who my friends are. And then I started to go on this inquiry on who am I, what do I want, what is my life about. I started to go out to nightclubs by myself so that I can learn about myself. So I totally get that. And then the other part of that advice that I would say that's missing is the part where you'll get to a point when you will need to deal with the things you need to deal with, like your family, who you cannot and should not avoid, to be honest with you. So after sitting there and really stewing on why this made me feel a certain way, I went back on the phone and another post came up on my feed, and it was about spiritual bypassing. So spiritual bypassing is when you use spirituality to go around or go over or avoid dealing with things that you need to deal with. And so I think that if we're not careful, that type of advice will allow people to spiritually bypass. Instead of dealing with the karma or the things that keep coming up in your life, maybe it's different people, but the same type of people, or maybe it's your family, or maybe it's issues that you have from whatever past lives that you have that you are meant to deal with in this life, but we keep trying to avoid it instead of really working through it and dealing with it. Because I truly do believe that we were put here together for the sake of spiritual growth, for the sake of expanding our consciousness. And if we continue to just stick with the people that make us comfortable or inspire us or make us feel good, I think we miss the opportunity to work through things that we should be working through in this lifetime. And it's also a missing because there's so much beauty in going through and transcending past what was once things that are holding us back from really living fully. Because when we deal with things and we work through things, it doesn't matter what your environment is and who is in it, because you yourself, you trust yourself to be able to deal with any situation that comes up. I'm really passionate about this topic because as I get older and as I am raising my own human, she's not mine though, by the way, as I'm raising this human, this sovereign human being, I really want her to be in a world where we are not divided and where there is no other, and where she really sees herself in other people and she can live in compassion, kindness, and getting that we're all here on this walk together and we are one. And so I hope this reaches somebody. Maybe not, it doesn't matter. But I was just really inspired to share, and I am curious what y'all think about that. Let me know.